God damn. Well, hello everybody. We're re-recording episode 1. We had some technical difficulties the last time around.
Bullshit.
I think we got it straight now. Just sipping on some Johnny Walker, a couple beers. So this should be fun. So, take 2.
Take 2.
Let's see what we got popping today.
The same thing.
The same thing. Well, for those of you who haven't heard the first one, because we haven't put it up. Because we couldn't. Well, my name is Ozzy. My cousin.
Eric Blades.
And we're going to be talking about some, aliens and all kinds of weird shit that people don't like to talk about. Some people do like to talk about it, but, it is what it is, I suppose. On today's episode, take 2, we're going to talk about an abduction that's pretty famous. Take it away.
It's the Betty and Barney Hill abduction. This happened in September 1961.
Back in the 60s. Yeah. So much shit was going on in the 60s, man.
A lot.
Oh, man.
Well, married couple, Barney and Betty Hill, decided to go on a road trip, spend 3 days in Niagara Falls and Montreal.
Ooh.
After 3 days there, they returned. Well, they hit the road, going back to Portsmouth, where they lived. Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Some East Coast action.
Yep. And Betty noticed a strange light in the sky. And Mr. Hill said, "Oh, it's probably just a shooting star." And they left it at that. And then after a while, they noticed the light was getting bigger and brighter. And Mr. Hill, he just kept assuring her that it was, a plane, that it was helicopters, satellite. But after some time, the light grew really bright, and it seemed like it was following them. They actually pulled over to look at it closer because they had binoculars in the car.
Oh, damn, they had the whole setup.
Yeah, it's kind of, who carries that?
I mean, you never know when you're going to need them, bro.
True. It's like a condom.
Very true.
So Betty got out of the car and took a closer look with the binoculars when she noticed that it was a circular spinning object. Not a satellite, not a plane, not a shooting star. I mean, it was following them. So.
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird that, back in the day, like in the 60s, I mean, I think like nowadays, if something like that were to happen, you'd probably be like, you'd jump straight into it's a UFO instead of like, it's a shooting star, or it's something else, because now it's like, it's got to be a UFO. But, back then, I think it's kind of weird how, they're just kind of there. They're unsuspecting. They're just driving back home from their little vacay. All of a sudden, they got this light in the sky looking at them and following them around. Shit, I'd be pretty freaked out, man.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Barney, he's trying to keep his cool, and she's like, no, that's something weird. Maybe she still had the Roswell incident in the back of her mind from, what was that, 1947?
Yeah.
Roswell, New Mexico.
Something like that. I like how the guy has to keep his composure. Like, he's gotta be like, oh shit, some sketchy shit's going down, but I gotta keep it together.
He's trying not to freak out.
Gotta comfort the wifey and let her know it's nothing wrong. Shit.
So at this time, she got back in the car, and they got on the road again, and Barney noticed that it wasn't making a sound, but the light was still following them. So now he's starting to freak out. I mean, they're going. I'm guessing they're going like somewhere around 60 miles per hour. I don't know highways over there, but there's speed limits. But I'm guessing it's like at least 60. And so yeah, they drove. According to Barney Hill, they drove for about 70 miles after Betty had gotten out to look at it through the binoculars.
Oh, so they drove for a whole nother hour.
A little bit over an hour.
And it was still following them. Damn.
And at this time, Barney, I guess he got fed up. He pulled the car over and he ran. He was carrying a gun in the car. He was carrying a pistol in the car.
Oh, Barney was strapped.
So I'm guessing he got fed up. So he pulled over the car, ran into the woods.
About to shoot a shooting star? God damn, Barney's a boss.
He ran into the woods. So, I mean, this thing had to have been flying off to the side of them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's on the road and he ran into the woods. I don't know. Reading the story, I thought like it was like hovering over them, but I guess not.
I mean, still, if something's over the,
Yeah, it's up to the side, just shining a light at them.
Yeah, I could imagine that it's still kind of on you because, it's a little higher up. Angles and distance and whatnot.
So he ran into the woods, pistol in hand, where he witnessed a flat, circular, flying object with rows of windows. So I guess this thing was flying pretty low for him to see windows.
Oh yeah.
And
it must have been pretty bright too.
Yeah. He also claims to have seen uniformed beings sitting on the other side of those windows.
What do you mean? They're all wearing like the same uniform?
Yeah.
They all worked at the same place?
Same place.
Abductions are us. I dig it.
They have their little get-up. Goose, Maverick.
Hey, I mean, it's a Space Force.
So, he actually tried to shoot it. And he tried to raise his hand to take aim and shoot. And something kept him from raising his arm.
What was it?
I have no idea. He just said he couldn't lift his arm up to take aim and shoot. Something was holding his arm back. Something invisible was holding him back.
So he just couldn't move his arm
to
take aim? Yes. Damn. I would have lost my shit at that point.
He claims that around this time when he couldn't lift his arm up, he got an eerie feeling that he was about to get abducted.
Oh shit.
So he ran back to the car, screaming, yelling, pistol in hand. Betty's sitting in the car waiting for him to return. So now she's really freaking out.
Oh yeah.
And here comes your husband running out of the dark woods. By the way, this all took place around between 10 and midnight. 10 p.m. and midnight. So, I mean, it's pretty dark. And he got back in the car. He took off on the highway. And after a little while, they started hearing a weird humming, beeping noise coming from their trunk. And they claimed that around that time, they started feeling drowsy. and they don't remember what happened after hearing the noise and feeling drowsy.
So they're driving after this whole thing happened, and all of a sudden there's like some kind of noise coming from their trunk.
From their trunk.
Oh shit. I mean, there's not a lot of things that could have happened at that point with the car because, you know, back in the 60s, cars weren't really all that equipped with lights, sounds, gadgets, stuff like that, like what we see now. So, definitely something to
They actually
worry
stopped.
about.
They actually stopped at a diner before they started seeing the light following them. So when I was reading this, when I was done reading like all the information on this, I pictured, I was reading this and picturing it like a movie in my head. I pictured them pulling over into the diner to have some breakfast. And the UFO was looking for something, and maybe someone put what they were looking for in their trunk. And that's what was making sound like a beacon, like a GPS thing. And that's what the UFO was tracking, and that's what the noise was.
Oh, damn.
You know, that's what I pictured when I was reading it. I mean, what's making a weird beeping noise in a car from the 50s, 60s?
It's true.
So, after they felt drowsy, they lost consciousness, and they, according to them, they woke up 2 hours after they passed out. So this was already like one or 2 in the morning.
So driving, they knocked out mid-drive?
Yep.
Shit.
And they don't remember what happened up to there. They woke up, drove home, and when they got home, they just couldn't wrap their heads around what happened to those 2 hours of their lives. What's odd is that they're driving down the highway, they get drowsy, pass out, but nowhere does it say they crashed. So, yeah. Another thing, they are the only ones that saw this light. There was literally no one else driving on that highway.
And that's kind of weird, man. Like, I was just thinking about that too. Like, when you said that they drove for like another 70 miles or so, that's about another hour. Like, I mean, I know maybe back in the day it wasn't, maybe a lot of people didn't have cars back then, I don't know, but it just seems a little sketchy that like for a whole hour, at least 2 hours, you don't see another car on the road, semi passing you, you know, maybe the other way, I don't know, but I mean, shit.
Yeah, because I mean, according to, there's really no timestamps on their stories, obviously. I'm pretty sure they weren't like keeping track of like their watch or whatever, so
Yeah, of course.
But according to how many miles they had traveled, you can kind of tell how long they've been traveling for. So their whole experience with this UFO was about 3 hours. So for 3 hours, there was no sheriff, no
highway
patrol, no other people traveling on that highway at the same time.
Yeah, that's
when you travel, you pass.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
A lot of vehicles with you traveling, no matter what road you're on, you're gonna pass another car.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, especially in that span of a time, you know.
Yeah, like 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. I mean, you're gonna run into someone. So, I find that odd that no one else came out and said they saw something similar to that night. So, that's pretty strange.
Like the kids say nowadays, it's pretty sus.
So after they just, I guess they slept it off. I'm guessing they slept it off, and I couldn't really find anything on like what happened the days that followed, but I know that after some time,
so they just went home after they saw this light, they passed out somehow inexplicably, and they didn't question it. They're just like, "Fuck it, we're home." God damn.
This started at 10:30 p.m. They didn't get home till 3 a.m.
Fuck.
So, I mean, there you go. I mean, you got a time from when they left the diner. A little while after they left the diner, they started seeing the light. They didn't get home till around 3 a.m. So, you have all those hours of no one else witnessing the same thing. So, they're driving from Montreal to New Hampshire, which, I mean, it's not a far drive. I mean, but no one else, it's just hard to believe that no one else was driving on the highway, that there's no one else that has come forward and said, we saw it, they're not lying.
Yeah,
something was really in the sky that night.
Yeah, something that can like definitively tell you like, yeah, you know what, I saw some shit too.
What if at the diner someone drugged them or something, put something in their food or drinks, and this whole thing was just a hallucination?
Maybe, man. I mean, people are weird. You know what I mean? Even nowadays,
you can't trust anyone.
Yeah, you can't trust anybody. It's weird. Like, I mean, like I said, back in the day, I mean, shit, how can you explain something like that happening? You know, it's like, oh shit, I got abducted. But then again, if someone's gonna go through the trouble of like drugging you or slipping something in your food, your coffee, your drinks, I mean, how do you explain the light?
Yeah.
And then how do you like, I mean, if I feel like if I was gonna go to the extent of like drugging someone and stalking them and following them, I mean, that sounds like murder or like kidnapping for more than like a couple of hours. But I don't know, man.
So my computer froze.
Oh shit.
It's the aliens.
It's the aliens. I know you're talking about them.
It's probably the same crew.
Yeah. Like, oh, these guys talking shit.
Oh, these guys really don't believe we were there. I'll show them.
Hey.
Yeah, my computer froze. You have your tablet?
I still couldn't find it.
Shit. So yeah, after a while, they Betty actually contacted the Air Force.
Okay.
And told the Air Force what they had encountered, and the Air Force was pretty quick to dismiss it. I can't really remember what the Air Force had said. That, you know, what they told them, like, no, this is what you saw.
They're like, ma'am, it was a weather balloon.
Yeah, it was. Man, my computer froze.
Here's the aliens, bro.
Fucking technology.
Weird.
That froze. But yeah, the Air Force said it was, you know, something that.
Yeah, it was
Nothing
not an
paranormal,
alien.
yeah. And after a while, they started seeing a psychiatrist that specializes in hypnosis.
Yeah.
Because they really wanted to see if they could remember those 2 hours that they lost, that they can not remember at all. And,
bro, that's a motherfucker. Remember I told you about that time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, I have no recollection, no idea what happened for about maybe 6 to 8 hours of my life. I have no idea.
Yeah,
We'll probably touch on this on another episode because that's a whole nother conversation, but shit.
a really interesting one.
I can't even imagine. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to not remember shit. Like, imagine these people trying to trace back their steps and not knowing what's going on, or what happened to them. Yeah, it's pretty
It must be pretty annoying not being able to know what happened in that time.
Oh yeah.
So they got in contact with his name was Benjamin Simon, psychiatrist and neurologist who specialized in hypnosis. And they would go to weekly sessions, and Simon helped them they helped a couple piece a few memories, I guess, through hypnosis. And they both actually drew a picture of the flying object, and they both drew the same thing. Pretty similar. I mean, if I'm hanging out with you for days, we're probably gonna draw the same thing. I mean, we talk to each other. I mean, they're married. They could have easily, practiced this at home.
True, but I mean,
because you get them, and I haven't said this yet, but they're a biracial, a married couple. Barney Hill he's an African American gentleman, and Betty Hill she's a white lady. And
especially back then.
Yeah, and at that time when they came out with their story, people were saying that they were making it up just to bring attention to a biracial couple. People thought they were just doing it to kind of
just
tell people hey, it's okay to marry whoever you want, which I mean it is, but back then in the 60s
it really wasn't.
So yeah, the Simon guy, he helped them piece a lot of their memories back. They drew a picture of the UFO, and they actually drew pictures of the alien.
Damn, people are just all kinds of skills back in the day. You tell me to draw something, I'd be like, fuck, dude, I can't draw for shit.
So Betty and Barney would have horrible nightmares and really bad anxiety after a little while after their encounter. And Simon started helping them remember and stuff, and Barney remembers being led up the ramp of the UFO.
Oh shit.
By little gray beings. They were both led to an examination room with a really small metal table. And he says he recalls it being really small because most of his legs hung off the table when they laid him down.
Damn.
They claim that during the examinations, the beings removed Betty and Barney's clothes completely. They plucked strands of hair, took clippings of their nails, and scraped some of their skin.
Oh shit.
They say that each sample was placed in a clear little container, but it wasn't plastic and it wasn't glass. I mean, how would you know it's not plastic or glass?
I mean, I guess
they both look pretty. I mean, they look both similar.
But
if you think about it. I mean, your whiskey glass.
Yeah,
it could be plastic.
Yeah, but if you think about it, I mean, maybe they, just by the sound of it, different sound. Maybe it didn't sound like anything they've ever heard. Maybe. Damn.
They say that the beings had needles connected to wires, and with those needles they probe their arms, heads, and legs, and their spine. They say that the needles were around 4 to 6 inches long. And a little while after, the beings inserted one into Betty's belly. She claims it was a pregnancy test. I'm guessing she's assuming that because that's the only reason. I mean, that would be the only reason why you would
maybe
do something like that. And she recalls rolling around and screaming in pain.
Damn.
Yeah. So they both claim that the leader was watching from the side all the procedures they were doing. I guess maybe he had a captain hat or a rank on his uniform, but I don't know how they knew he was the leader.
Maybe he had a manager badge. He was the manager of all the little aliens.
So after Betty's examination ended, the one with the needle in her abdomen, they put him back in the room, and that the beings were acting really excited. And they found out that they were acting really excited because they found out that Barney's teeth could be removed from his mouth.
What the fuck? What do you mean? Did he have dentures?
He had dentures.
Oh, so these motherfuckers are like, oh shit. Fucking transformer up in this motherfucker.
And according to them, it was because the beings had a hard time understanding that humans age. I mean, were these things talking in English?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, like Betty and Barney are I mean, what they stated, I mean, it seems like they were like,
yeah,
they
like
know what they were talking. They
yeah,
know.
like they were in the conversation, like, hey, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, I guess they did know English because Betty said that one of the beings asked her, that Betty had asked them where they had come from. And that the being joked with her, and that the being said, if you don't know where you are, there wouldn't be any point in telling you where I am. And they laughed. If you don't know where you are, there wouldn't be a point in telling you where I am, is what he said to her, or she, whatever they are.
Shit.
So
get all philosophical and shit.
Yeah.
Real deep, real quick.
Yeah. They're reading like Mark Twain and...
Fuck.
Yeah.
These goddamn aliens are philosophers.
Sophisticated. So, under hypnosis, Betty drew a star map that was shown to her while she was on the craft.
Shit.
So later on in 1965, the Hill story was all over the place, all over the world. Everyone on their newspaper, their story was out there. So this happened in 61. Their encounter happened in 61. So, I mean, it took 4 years for it to like really blow up, I guess. Because in 65 is when everyone was posting about it. Not posting, sorry, writing about it.
Oh, I mean, they were posting about it in their own way.
Yeah. Ancient way.
Yeah. Printed and shit.
I mean, although the Hills encounter wasn't the first alien encounter and the first abduction story, they had so much detail in their story that it just blew up, you know?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And
I mean, if you can remember shooting the shit with an alien that just like probed you,
joking around with you,
like, oh hey, it's nothing personal, just
and you specifically can clearly remember him saying, if you don't know where you are, there wouldn't be any point in telling you where I am.
Yeah,
it's just
so the aliens being a little smart ass, calling Betty a little uneducated, I guess. I don't know.
So their story was so detailed that every other abduction story after that was compared to theirs to see if it was true. To see if the new ones were true. I want to know who is doing this. Who's comparing them?
Yeah.
Who? I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm not saying they're lying. But, I mean, one, no one else saw it. You were the only ones on the road for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. That alone is like, that raises questions.
2, you both drew the exact same things. And you remember joking and stuff like that with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, every other abduction story after theirs has always been compared to their story to see how true these other people are being. So I don't know who confirmed their story was real, but I guess people are saying it's real. And I mean, the whole thing with the little table and them saying, you know, there was just a room, circular hallways, a little table, one light above, they're probing you. The film, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, took that and put it in the movie, because in the movie it's the exact same thing, the way they're describing it.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. The aliens look the same as the ones they drew, almost.
Okay.
And I mean, a bunch of shows have used the Betty and Hill abduction story, like the X-Files have used their story to use it.
There's actually a game, right?
What game?
What is that like? Was it a game, like a virtual reality game about their abduction or something like that?
The VR video, the
interactive dinner party thing.
Yeah, where they arguing about their nightmares and all, like what
they
saw.
Yeah.
I'll link it into the video on YouTube, so everyone can check it out. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was kind of trippy. I was like, oh shit.
I mean, the setup, like the way they filmed it, was just crazy. I mean, there was a huge pole with like 8 cameras all around to film like the VR interactive thing, and then it's actors playing Betty and Barney Hill,
right? And
then they're arguing in their kitchen about what they saw, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. So yeah, the Hill story is what helped pave the way for understanding human experiences with other things, with other encounters. But I mean, it's just crazy that they both drew the same thing. I mean, if I'm the one in charge of like debunking their story, I'm gonna be like, well, yeah, they're gonna draw the same thing. They're married, they live together. Why wouldn't they draw the same thing? They practice this, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bullshit. It's just weird because, like we said, they're the only ones on the road. What a coincidence. They both draw the same thing. They're joking with these things.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't mean. What if aliens are nice? I mean, we don't know.
I mean, I'd like to find out.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing is Barney, who was a World War II veteran. He said that the gray manager, the leader, that he looked like Hitler.
Oh shit.
And I mean, I don't know if he means like he literally physically looked like Hitler, or the way he acted and ran things was, you know, Hitler-like.
Yeah.
But that's what he claimed. Betty also claims that an alien even agreed to give her a book to bring with her back to Earth. And that later on the way... A book. And that later on their way back to Earth, the rest of the aliens overruled the decision and they didn't give her the book.
Oh, shit. It's fucked up. Wonder what that book had.
Right?
Was it a bedtime story?
I mean, it had to have had some secrets in it for the rest of the crew to be like, nah, We're not
of
letting
course.
we're not letting our book go to Earth, you know. I mean, if I get abducted, I'd be pretty freaked out. I wouldn't be joking with these things. I'd be trying to get the fuck off this thing.
Yeah, no shit, bro.
You know,
I'd be like, fuck this.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe in aliens. There's no way we're the only ones in the whole
yeah, but I mean, to be stalked and then
that we're the only ones that exist.
Someone's probing you. You're like over here in pain, and all of a sudden you're like just shooting the shit. They're gonna give you a fucking book. Yeah, that's, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the Air Force said.
It's a weather balloon.
I think that's what they said.
That was a go-to back then, man.
I mean, look at Roswell right away, weather balloon. See, but with Roswell, there was actually a lot of witnesses who said, "Nah, something."
Like,
there was weird lights.
Hold on, player.
There was all this stuff, weird stuff going on, and then a crash. Like,
yeah,
this ain't no weather balloon. Why did the military go and like cover everything really fast, put it on semis, and drove it away quick?
Yeah.
Before the sun even came out, everything was gone. We need to go take a trip to Roswell. It's only, what, 4 or 5 hours away from here?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what the Air Force had said about it. I mean, they're both claiming of really disturbing nightmares and really bad anxiety.
I mean, shit, that's 2020, bro. That's all of us right now.
Yeah. Another thing I was thinking is, I mean, it's 1961, you know, the Cold War is going on. Vietnam. Also, and that's around the time, like, also when, like, the CIA was, like, testing a lot of things on people, you know?
Yeah,
like psychological warfare and stuff like that. Like, what if they were slipped something in their food or drinks at the diner?
Yeah, maybe they're just. Yeah, I mean, it was a busy time.
And obviously,
in the 60s. There was a lot going on.
Obviously, everyone's gonna call bullshit on their story. That I'm pretty sure no one went to that diner and spoke to anyone there. You know, and I mean, back then, I'm pretty sure there was no security cameras that are recording.
There was no CCTV back then.
Yeah, so it's like no one really like investigated it.
Yeah. I was kind of like, oh shit, you guys got abducted? That fucking sucks.
Yeah. I really can't remember what the Air Force had said. I'll look it up. Well, their experience actually kicked off an Air Force little task force thing, and it was part of a secretive initiative called I'm pretty sure you've heard of this, the Project Blue Book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That investigates UFO sightings.
Yeah.
But at first, they just bullshitted them, like, no, you saw this. This is what you saw.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure after hearing their story, they told them, like, no, this is what you saw, but then secretly went, you know, under the Project Blue Book and started investigating what they saw, where they were. So I'm pretty sure the Air Force did drive down the same road they did. They did the whole,
to kind of see what's up.
You know, backtrack there.
I mean, maybe we should even try to look into, because over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of stuff that's been declassified.
Yep. And a lot of it is UFO stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, maybe we'll find some kind of information on this.
I think the Air Force had said there was a weather balloon also.
I'm telling you, man, that was like the go-to back in the day. It was like, nah, it was a weather balloon. Yeah. Just, you guys don't know.
It's just, it's too much. Like,
yeah, what's going on. I mean, definitely let us know. We're definitely interested in knowing what you guys think out there.
And check it out. Do your own little research if you like this stuff on the Betty Hill abduction. It's
Yeah.
really interesting. And there's pictures, there's drawings, there's videos, there's interviews of them talking on camera.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and link a lot of this stuff on here. But definitely do your own research, and if we missed anything, let us know. Definitely.
Or if we got some facts wrong from the story.
Yeah, because it does happen. I mean, and that's also the good and bad thing about the time we live in.
Yeah, you can just type whatever story you want on Google
and it's out there.
Publish it, and I mean that's why I did my research mostly on like credible websites like history.com and stuff like that. Not Wikipedia, because that's not a reliable source. So, but yeah, I mean, everyone should check out this story if you're into UFOs and aliens. There's a lot of information on this, a lot. There has to be years of of time looking through websites. There's so many websites on just this story. Really cool, interesting story.
Yeah, definitely. Also, if you guys have any suggestions, anything that you guys want us to touch base on,
and to do a lot of research on.
Yeah, like we were saying at the beginning of this, we're gonna touch base on a lot of things. Anything from alien abductions, paranormal activity, demons, hauntings,
exorcisms,
things of
murders,
that nature,
serial killers.
Yeah, things like that. I mean, if there's anything that you guys want to really listen to or want us to look into, definitely let us know in the comments. We're here for you guys, and we want to make sure that we touch base on things that you guys wanna look at and hear about.
I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was episode 1.
Little short story.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Coming soon, we'll work on some more video and stuff, so you can actually, there's gonna be like a little podcast / YouTube channel, obviously, but yeah, definitely, if you guys want to listen to us on the podcast, we'll let you guys know as soon as we have the podcast up and running on Spotify and on Apple and everything like that, different platforms for you guys. But thank you so much for joining us in the first episode, and we hope to see you guys back here soon.
Y'all stay safe.